Hi, this is Lara from Not Enough Knitting. Today I'm going to show you how to work the double chain cast on in the round. So it's very similar to doing the double chain in rows, but it's just slightly different than how you will join the round. So you will need a set of circular needles and you will need a crochet hook. Now I use this cast on for hats and for sweaters, and I really like the look of this cast on. So the first step will be to create a slip knot. And then using your circular needles, you'll slip that slip knot onto the circular needles. So now when working this cast on, this slip knot is actually not a stitch. We're going to slip this slip knot off at the start of the first round. So if your pattern calls for 60 stitches, you'll want to have 61 stitches on your needle. So that would be including this slip knot. If you don't count the slip knot, then you'll have the required amount of 60. But I usually count it. It's just easier that way. So I just cast on one extra stitch and then I slip this off and then I have the required amount of stitches when I start. So just like working this pattern in the rows, we're going to use our crochet hook in our right hand and our needle in our left hand. And then we're going to take our crochet hook, we're going to put it underneath the needle. Using our thumb and our forefinger, we're going to hold that together. And then taking your working yarn, we're going to pull around over top of the needle. And then we're going to grab this yarn with our crochet hook and pull it through. And then once it's through, we're going to pull this a little bit looser so we don't have a super tight cast on. And then we're going to hold the needle, the crochet hook under the needle again, take our working yarn, wrap it around, and then use our crochet hook first to pull under the needle and then to pull through this stitch here. And then make it a little bit loose there. So again, crochet hook under the needle, take our working yarn, wrap around, use our crochet hook to grab the yarn underneath and through. Pull it a little bit looser. And this is the method that we will use to create this double chain cast on. And you just continue this cast on until you have the required amount of stitches. Remembering that our slip knot doesn't count as a stitch. Or if you count it as a stitch, you have to have one extra stitch on your needles. So I got to my last stitch, so I'm going to just create one more stitch instead of just putting this stitch directly on here, which I could. It's just a little bit looser than I would like. So we're going to use our crochet hook, pull the working yarn through that last stitch, and then we'll push it over onto the needle. And it just creates a little bit nicer of an edge. Okay, so now that we're knitting in the round, you can see this, how nice this cast on edge looks. So now we're knitting in the round. So the first step for knitting in the round is to join the round. So before we join this round, just getting my needle set up properly here, we're going to slip this. This is our slip knot. We're going to slip this off the left needle and take it out. So now we have the right amount of stitches on our needle. Okay, so to start now, we're just where we would be if we had a regular cast on. We're going to join the round. Let's pull this a little bit snug here. And you start knitting your pattern. The first round of your pattern, like so.